Hi, friends. Welcome to season 3, episode 4 of Dysfunction Exposed. Ugh, it's a bit of a wild one, my teenage years, isn't it, so far? And it just gets crazier from here on in. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't get any smoother for a very long time. But here we are. Please excuse the state of my head because I did go out last night and I am feeling a bit ropey. I should probably tell you that my procrastination got the better of me this week because it is now 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. I am due to release this podcast at 7 o'clock this evening, and that is just me all over. And this is why I am extremely grateful with the way that I work because, as we know, I don't put a face on. I don't do anything out of the ordinary. This is how you'd catch me on a normal day kind of scenario. I don't really edit my footage. I'm a one-take wonder. It just comes out as it comes out. And that's what I wanted to put into the world. And that's what I'm doing. So, yeah, my procrastination did get the better of me, but I'm here because I do not like fucking up my schedule. So, if I do sound a bit like Fag Ash Lil, that is why. So today, I'm gonna be talking to you about what was happening whilst I was still going to school and all this shit was going on. So, as we know, I was in a bad place mentally. It wasn't pretty and it wasn't easy. And I found myself just being very jealous and bitter towards people who had family because I was like, why don't I fucking deserve that? And that's not a question a kid should be asking themselves. That is absolutely ludicrous. But as it was, as it should have been, there we go. So while I was in school, as we know, I didn't get a lot of support when I was choosing my options. So I didn't make the best decisions because I just decided to do things that I enjoyed rather than something that would actually give me a leg up to a potential future career route. So basically, I did all the standard science, English, maths, and then IT, RE, all the bog standard shit that goes along with it. And then I chose textiles, dance, and what else did I choose? I don't know, but textiles and dance were definitely in there. Oh, health and social is what I did. Because I'm a caring person. I liked the idea of being able to relate to other people. That's exactly why I chose that. So I chose those 3 subjects. And yeah, like I say, I wasn't really planning on doing anything with it. I just went, well, they're the less boring 3 of the bunch, so I'll just fucking do them. There wasn't a route in mind. There wasn't anything with focus or intent on the future. It was just, let's just fucking go through the motions. And that's exactly what I did. But while I was going through these motions and all this stuff was going on in the background, I was a difficult kid to deal with, should I say. Because it wasn't that I lacked the intelligence. I just couldn't really express myself in a way that I fucking hate that word, but it's the only way I can say it, in a way that normal people would get. When I would tell my side of the story, since I was a kid, it's always been, why are you so defensive? Why are you getting so angry? You're so aggressive. And it's never been like that. It's just been my tone. Because they never had an issue with the words I was saying. They just always had an issue with my delivery. But because I thought I was Billy Big Bollocks, no one can touch me. My own fucking parents don't give a shit, so why am I giving a shit about whatever a teacher is saying? I'm not. I can't trust the adults in my life. You're just another one of them. As soon as I move away from this situation, I know you ain't gonna be there. I'm not naive. I can see exactly what's going on. And it just added to a long line of trust issues, really. So, whilst this was happening, and we're taking those classes, I'm doing what I need to do. Like I say, I'm going through the motions. But I was a fucker. I was a little bastard. I would argue with teachers when they said something that I didn't agree with. I've always been opinionated. Always. And again, I didn't know how to express it in the right way. So it came across as quite aggressive a lot of the time. And there were more than one occasion where I was sent out of classes. I've been suspended numerous times. Let me give you some of the reasons for the suspensions, because some of these are actually quite funny. And I laugh at myself now for being so ballsy. But I'm like, oh, you should have had more respect, Emma. Come on. However, the suspension issue. So basically, I got suspended once for being behind the sports hall, smoking a cigarette. And the teacher came round and found me smoking the cigarette. And they'd usually chase you around the sports hall and everyone would be smoking the cigs and just legging it round. But I was like, nah, I'm in a bad mood today. You're not fucking coming for me today. Don't even think. So I stood there and he went, Emma, put the cigarette out, please. But by this time, my dad had already caught me smoking. And his response was, well, I can't tell you not to. I did it at my age. So that was it. I had ammo. I fully had ammo. My parent doesn't give a fuck, so I don't give a fuck what you think. Okay. So rather than putting the cigarette out and doing as I was told, like a good kid, I took a drag of the cigarette and blew the fucker in his face. The fucking audacity of young me. I did not give a fuck. Because like I say, you were just... It's not that I didn't respect the hierarchy, but I'll only give you as much respect as you give me. Now, how can you give me the respect that I deserved as a kid when you had no fucking idea what I was going through? I was just another number in your system. And I was working through my shit. And you're oblivious. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to take any guidance from you whatsoever. You're not relevant to me. So that was one time. I got suspended for fighting. I got suspended for being a general gobshite. I got suspended once for... So me and my friend decided it was a great idea to get a pen and absolutely cover the side of the desk. So when you sat against it, it left a big pen line. But we did it to our teacher. I fucking hated this woman. This woman told me in a science class in front of a whole room of people that I would not pass the GCSE. So of course, my little brain went, then why the fuck am I here? If you already know I'm not going to pass, why am I here? And that's a reflection on you, because you're the one teaching me. So immediately, I had a fucking bee in my bonnet, and I went full-blown Karen at 15 years old. I grabbed my shit, I stood up, and I said to her, let's go and see what your fucking boss has got to say about that, shall we? And I took my arse to the head of year and I said, this woman has just said this in front of 30 kids. She's basically just tried to shame me in front of a group of people. Yay, well done. Doing a great job at teaching and giving a great example. Come the fuck on. You're a hypocrite. Again, all these adults are just looking like hypocrites to me. I'm not following any of you. You're all fucking batshit crazy. You're all absolutely insane. But I did myself proud that day because I didn't see that teacher again. And I'm assuming they let her go. I'm fucking good, because it shouldn't take a kid to have to witness that behaviour for then something to be done about it. This is absolute foolishness. Crazy. Anyway. And I ended up, whilst I was rebelling, getting closer to the kids that were local to where I lived. And they were all from the same deprived area that I was. We were all going through similar situations, different circumstances, but we all just bonded. Now, I never really felt like one of the group. I was just there. But I had this habit of bouncing from group to group. I was good with everyone. I could just mix with everyone. But I got particularly close to the kids on the estate because obviously, you're round where I live, if we're but if we're going out or we're going round to one of the girls' houses or whatever, we'd just sit about listening to music, smoking ciggies, drinking brews, fucking about, being kids. We'd camp on the fucking estate. We'd just do daft shit. Walk to Esso at 5 o'clock in the morning because we needed a lighter. Random shit. Just random shit. Being a kid. And that obviously didn't help because then the mentality was secured for me. Like, oh, okay, I'm just another kid in a long line of other kids facing these issues and these situations where parents have lacked the responsibility they should have some of the time. And it is a wild one to analyse parents' behaviour as the child. And it's one of those annoying things that I love-hate about myself. I can really analyse every situation. I see everything. I see it, I pick up on it. But until 5 years ago, of course I was going to make the wrong decisions because I was just trying to fit in. I was just trying to be liked and wanted. And that didn't come easy as a bigger kid either. Like, there was a lot of, oh, it must be my outwardly appearance why people don't like me. But then inwardly, there was still all those negative thoughts and everyone hates me and everyone is going to abandon me and I don't trust anybody, not even my own family. I can't fucking trust anybody. And that is just spiralling and spiralling and spiralling forever. Because that was the base. That was the baseline for what I'd learn. No wonder. No fucking wonder I got mental health issues. Look at what I believed. I believed that I was nothing because everyone else made me feel like I was nothing. Okay, that's a hard lesson that I had to learn. But in a lot of ways, I'm very grateful. So with that being said, whilst I was suspended or got detentions or whatever the fuck I was doing in school, my dad didn't give a shit. He was just like, yeah, whatever. She's just Emma. That's who she is. That is just who she is. And he didn't punish me as such. He just cracked on with what he was doing. Obviously, why would he give two shiny shits about that? Because that's completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. But then there was one morning where he was at home and I'd got up to go to school and it must have been winter because it was really dark outside. Like when you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're still going out in the dark and it's freezing and it's just miserable. Now, the area we were in was a cul-de-sac, so there was no exit routes. You had to go up one street to get out completely. And as I was ready for school, while my dad was still in bed, sleeping off the booze, because I did all this myself, as I did. Even when he was there, I did it all myself, because that's what I was used to now. I go downstairs, I go to open the front door, and as I do, there's about 20 coppers with one of those fucking battle ram things to go through the front door. And I'm just looking at them like, what in the fuck did I do? Because I don't think I did anything that bad. And it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Of course it fucking wasn't. So I was like, can I help you? And this copper turned around, she was like, yeah, is your dad in? Yeah, he's in bed. Why? Can you go and get him up, please? Okay. But there was, honestly, about 50 of them. I've never seen so many coppers in my life. And the whole street was laced with vans and cars. And what the fuck is going on here? You'd think my dad had murdered someone. It was like, whoa, this is extreme. So I went upstairs, got him out of bed. Dad, you need to fucking come and deal with this. And I just left and went to school. I didn't process what had happened whatsoever. I just fucking went to school, shut that down, got on with my day. And I came home and I was like, what the fuck was that about? Like, what is going on? And my laptop was gone. All my devices were gone. My dad's laptop was gone. Everything with any data on it was gone. Sorry, what? Why is all my shit gone? Because it turns out my dad was in business with a man who was fucking scamming people or pulling some fraudulent activity. But because my dad was there by association, that happened. Come the fuck on. I genuinely couldn't believe that my house had been raided, like fully raided. It was just a bizarre situation, especially when, as a kid, I was like, I might fucking steal a chocolate bar here and there, but I don't think it warrants 50 coppers. But that is just the madness for this episode. More madness will follow next week. That's all I'm giving you for this week's episode. As always, I'm Emma J. This has been Dysfunction Exposed. Have a great week and I'll see you next Sunday.